Assalamualaikum and hi. The topic that has been chosen by our group for fieldwork research is Malaysia highest in fund misappropriation and money laundering by political leaders and big corporations. Our group has 4 members, which are Abdul Halim, Nur Aina Kasdina, Wan Adeline Nadilah, and Muhammad Alif Nasrullah.
Malaysia has among the highest misappropriation of funds and money laundering cases by political leaders and big corporations in the world. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this was reported based on the Global Financial Integrity GFI report 2010, the Panama Pandora Papers in 2016 and the Pandora Papers in 2017. Anwar said most of a large amount of money kept in offshore accounts was believed to be from illegal activities, which includes several political leaders in the country. The issue affects the national interest as a whole, and based on what was revealed in these reports, Malaysia is among the highest due to its economical status and small total population. Yes, several countries like China and Saudi Arabia were involved. However, Malaysia is among the top. The One Malaysia Development Fund Berhad 1MDB scandal is perhaps the most serious corruption scandal that has been recorded. The corruption has involved the embezzlement and laundering of billions of US dollars from its accounts, together with gains from bribery and bond pricing, facilitated by false declarations by its officials and others. The illicit money was often transferred and laundered outside Malaysia. A cohort of bankers, businessmen, and senior government officials, mainly from Malaysia, but some from Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and other countries, have been implicated in the scandal. The scandal came to light in 2015 and has given rise to investigations not only in Malaysia but in other countries where embezzled and other illicit money has been deposited and laundered. The investigation were intensified in 2018 with the change of government in Malaysia, when the Pakatan Harapan coalition under the previous Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad replaced the Barisan Nasional government led by Najib, which had ruled Malaysia since independence in 1957. The investigations and court trials are still ongoing as more evidence of the scandal comes to light.
Next is the issues of money laundering in Malaysia by political leaders. Most of the money kept in offshore account was believed to be from illegal activities, which includes several political leaders in the country, and it affects the national interests. Several countries like China and Saudi Arabia were involved. However, Malaysia is among the top. The Pandora Papers issued that recently surfaced this because the practices involve trust funds and share through several transactions involving several countries that could not be detected by the bank, whether they have paid the taxes.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Aina Kasdina binti Abdul Razak. My matrix number is A191143. I will explain more about this issue under legal perspective. So, misappropriation of funds can be defined as an illegal or unauthorized use of funds entrusted to an individual or organization for personal gain or purposes other than what they were intended for. In Malaysia, the act of misappropriation of funds is considered as a criminal offence and is subject to a legal action. So, regarding the issue that has been discussed, this issue falls under written law, which is criminal law. Firstly, primary legislation governing financial crimes and misappropriation of funds in Malaysia is the Penal Code. It is under Section 403 of the Malaysian Penal Code, specifically deals with dishonest misappropriation of property. Under this section, any person who dishonestly misappropriates or converts to his own use any movable property commits criminal misappropriation. Next, Companies Act 2016 in Malaysia contains provisions relating to the misappropriation of funds by company directors or officer. Section 406 of the Companies Act deals with the offence of fraudulent misappropriation of property. If a director or officer of a company misappropriates any property entrusted to him or the company, they may be liable for punishment, including imprisonment and fines. Hence, if a person is found guilty of criminal misappropriation of funds in Malaysia, they may be subject to the penalties under the Penal Code. The punishment for criminal misappropriation of property can include imprisonment for a term which may extend to 7 years, or with a fine, or with both. Next is money laundering. Money laundering is a criminal offence. It is under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001 or AMLA. Hence, this is also falls under written law, criminal law. The prevention of money laundering in Malaysia is regulated by the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001 AMLA. The Act has been revised and renamed as Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act 2001 Act 613, which came into force on March 6, 2007. The financial institutions, including banks, insurance companies, and money service businesses, are required to implement robust customer due diligence measures and report any suspicious transaction to the authorities, such as the Financial Intelligence Unit. The money laundering offences are punishable under the AMLA penalties upon conviction. It may include fines, imprisonment, or both. The severity of penalties may depend on the amount involved, the nature of the offence, and other factors. So that's all from me. Thank you.
The last part is conclusion. As a result, one can reasonably assume the money laundering is a global issue that must be addressed globally. Criminal outwit law enforcement by deploying a team of experts such as chartered accountant, solicitor, and mafia bankers to hide their unlawful money and masquerade it as a legitimate income. The possibility of a link between white-collar criminal, politician, law enforcement, and mafia cannot be ruled out. Bankers have the most prominent function, and the operation cannot be carried out without their cooperation. Last but not least, simply enacting anti-money laundering law is insufficient. The law enforcement community must keep up with the ever-changing dynamic of money launderers who constantly create creative tactics to stay outside the reach of the law. That's all from my team. Thank you.